Hi, this is Nathan, and welcome to the Wad Fam Chalk Pod, a place where humor, analysis, and discovery may be waiting for you just around the corner. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just come along for today's episode of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.
And that's when they knew they were in love. Please cut this from the audio.
You can read Andrew's fanfic now.
I'll write it when I get home. It'll be done by Thursday.
And
Who
then
am I kidding? It'll be done by tonight.
it's just a complete day of okay. No, that was bad. We're just gonna edit that out. It's fine.
Hello and welcome to a special Christmas episode of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod. I'm Dylan Weaver,
I'm Andrew Sabo.
and we're joined today by special guest.
Adam Deckard.
Hello.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Hi, you jumped right in. I'm so
I
proud of
did.
you. Good job.
Hey, that's what I'm setting up. That's what's supposed to happen.
Well, you know, not everybody's as intuitive. I'm looking at you, Brendan.
Oh, is that me?
That's not. Now it's my turn. So, what episode are we talking about today, Dylan?
Oh, we're talking about Snow Day.
The best episode ever.
Oh yes.
Episode 466.
It's so good.
Snow Day.
It's our Christmas episode, and it has nothing to do with Christmas.
Absolutely nothing.
Although our one last year didn't either. The Popsicle Kid.
So we had a nativity.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I forgot.
I mean,
that.
it's close enough. It has snow. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
It's basically winter.
And
Christmas.
to justify it, it is included on the Ultimate Christmas Collection album.
Oh,
It is.
okay.
So,
Then that's important.
right.
Yeah.
So Odyssey considers it Christmas. I have no problem considering it Christmas.
Yeah.
This
also,
is the one time I will just blindly fall in line with Focus on the Family. You say Christmas?
one time.
All right. Sounds good.
Also, it aired March 17th of 2001, which isn't even like you can have snow in March,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's yeah,
Much less common.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's odd that this is like the only real like snowy episode of Odyssey outside
Yeah.
of Christmas ones, because
Yeah.
like it takes place in the Midwest.
There could be a
There's
lot
plenty of snow.
Oh
The
yeah.
lake effect.
Yeah. Why isn't everything snow?
Exactly. There's more like storm episodes. Are there even tornado episodes? I mean, I'm sure there's at least one.
Yeah,
but
probably. There's definitely like stuff in Alaska takes place in the snow.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you would think that the weather would play more of a factor.
Yeah. You,
I think that the majority of it is just like they don't want to deal with it because they just stay inside most of the time. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like a lot of it just happens in Wits End. So like, why deal with the outside stuff if you don't have to?
yeah.
Excellent transition. So, Adam, what's your history with Adventures in Odyssey?
I've had a lot of experience with Adventures in Odyssey as a avid listener to Adventures in Odyssey. You know, teen years such. I listened to a solid like 4 hours a day, maybe more. Had the cassette
the
tapes.
normal amount.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing unreasonable.
The homeschool
yeah,
amount.
yeah. I had the cassette tapes, the
Oh, yeah.
CDs.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, walked
yeah.
around with the cassette player with me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a road trip if I didn't have my Walkman with a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
Odyssey tapes.
Oh yeah.
And that was that like what you leave on the threshing room floor is the episodes that you don't bring with you.
Yep.
That was a
Oh,
hard
man.
decision.
No, Adam alongside Andrew is one of the big contributors to why I didn't hear certain episodes of Odyssey because they were missing from this church library.
That is an excellent point.
I
have
never
way
rented
too
any.
many.
My siblings did. Brendan and Colleen are the reason.
All right, well,
There's a reason I don't go back to that library anymore.
You have a fine of $87.
Oh, honestly, it'd probably be more than that. I have so many.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
all scratched beyond like usage anymore.
Oh yeah.
So, is there a specific reason why you decided to do this episode, Adam? We kind of gave you the list of Christmas ones, and we're like, you can't do these three, but the rest are up for grabs, and you went Snow Day.
I did. It was one of the episodes that I'd listened to like more than 14 times and
Because
was like,
it's the best.
yeah, like this is just a fun episode. Like there's a lot going on and it's so like, classic Christmas and like, well, not Christmas, but like wintertime fun. It's just like, yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and kind of in line with how many times you've listened to it, like me too, and part of that is because this episode is sandwiched on the Danger Signals album.
Yeah.
In the middle of all the Novacom stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
It chronologically falls in between Green Eyes Yellow Tulips and Chains Part 1.
Yeah.
So like it's
Just listen to
right
it all
there
the time. Yeah.
on Dangerous Signal. So it's like I'm gonna grab that album to listen to Odyssey or to listen to Novacom, and of course I'm also going to listen to Snow Day because it freaking rules.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
And it's a great like in between of like break time
Yeah.
for the album.
Nice.
Well, and
small
it's I think it does what Odyssey does super well, and the kids narrate the episode, and like I think it just epitomizes what is good about Odyssey in that aspect. Like,
Yeah, it's got a very classic
Exactly.
Odyssey feel where it's like kind of harkening back to the early days where it's like, hey, you get the kids narrating and you're kind of following this one exaggerated story
Yeah.
kind of throughout the whole thing.
But like as a kid, you can totally get into
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
as a kid, like this totally shaped the way that I view snow days.
Oh, yeah.
Like it, like what he says, like it's like a surprise holiday, and I'm like, I still think that whenever I get a snow day,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, it's literally a surprise holiday for me because I get paid on snow days.
Dang it, you stink.
I wish.
Yeah, but I mean, you do like snow removal stuff.
Yeah,
so
Adam
you,
has
you
to
normally,
work
yeah,
on
yeah.
snow
Yeah.
days.
It is paid, but not a holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not too bad.
So that's cool. Though.
All right, so before we get into like actually breaking down the episode, I should mention it's written and directed by John Fornoff,
Okay.
aka John Beebe. Not entirely sure why the last name change, but it's a thing.
Tweet at us if you
Yeah,
know.
hey, if you know, that'd be cool.
If John himself
Yeah.
tweets at us,
Yeah,
If you know, you know.
we'll accept an email.
I will accept an email. I will accept a audio recording sent over email even,
Exactly. It's more personal.
or a voice recording left on Anchor. There are so many options, guys.
Or so accessible and
Come
yet
on.
so lonely.
DM us on Instagram.
Get out here and reach out to us.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the promo now.
Please, thank you.
All right.
Ah, snow days. An ideal time for relaxation and hot chocolate. Unless you're in Odyssey, of course. On the next Adventures in Odyssey, Alex is on a mission to get a batch of his mom's world-famous cookies safely to Grandma's house. Unfortunately, Rodney Rathbone and the Bones of Wrath are hot on his trail. Will Alex persevere? Find out on the next Adventures in Odyssey.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I got very like green sleeves, knights in a shining castle vibes from that music.
Yeah. It definitely is. He's trying to make it sound like this epic quest, but then the music is just kind of like la-di-da-di-da.
Exactly. Well, I expected the music to cut out and then it to cut to like the noise of like the snowballs like whistling and stuff.
I thought it was gonna do like a deep dun dun.
Yeah.
And they're like the Bones of Wrath right after.
Bones of Wrath.
The Bones of Wrath.
Such a best
good
pun
name
that
for
was so unintentional.
I don't know how. Yeah. So talking about the episode itself, we start out with Alex waking up to a clock radio.
Exactly. Which
Oh, yeah.
is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean,
The kids will never know.
only 90s kids understand.
Oh yeah.
I was born in 2000. I had a clock radio.
I
I
had a
thought it
clock
was.
radio.
I thought conceptually, I thought the idea of a clock radio was so cool. And
Oh,
then I
yeah.
got one, and I was like, I actually just kind of hate the radio. I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
It's because you see it and you're just like, oh, this is such a cool idea.
I can wake up to
listen
music.
to the radio when I wake up. Like, yes. And then it's
And
just
then
like,
you realize like you
why?
don't actually like what's played on the radio ever.
Yeah, exactly. And
Especially
then you
'cause
just
when
end
you're
up waking
Except
up to
for Odyssey.
Yeah, except for
We
Odyssey.
love that.
But Odyssey's not on at 6 in the morning. The only thing that's consistently on and not on commercial break is NPR, and that just makes you fall back asleep, which was the problem that I encountered as a 6th grader.
Either that or it's all talk shows. So you just
Yeah.
like wake up to people talking and you're just like, what is happening? Like, I just wanted to listen to music when I wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's just, I have issues. Anyway, he listens to the clock, he wakes up to his clock radio. There's, what is it? How many inches of snow, do you remember?
I didn't write down how many inches.
A good
know.
amount. I think it was like...
There's enough snow that they're closed.
Yeah, they're canceling schools, and then he does the whole bit where the radio announcer is like reading off all of them alphabetically for school
Yep.
closings, and this is all narrated by Alex being like, what does he say? Like, I imagine kids everywhere around Odyssey falling on their knees in prayer.
Yep.
And like What a actual thing, though. Like, I mean, as a child, like, watching the bottom of the screen on WGAL.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm convinced that 90% of WGAL's ratings during the winter is just people checking to see if their school is closed.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
then,
No, you-
as they scroll across the screen, they go, Camber County, Campbell County.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting because I don't think I realized that Odyssey Middle is part of the Campbell County School District.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I guess
So
Sure.
Odyssey Middle School and then,
there's Odyssey Elementary and
Yeah.
Odyssey Middle.
yeah.
Is there There's Odyssey High as well?
Yeah.
But they're all part of the Campbell County School District.
Yes. Yes.
But they start off with the private schools.
Yes, they do start off with private schools, and then they start listing counties alphabetically.
Right.
And we go from Camberg.
Berg
Like, I love that there's a pause
Oh, yeah.
in the broadcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
so
'cause,
good.
you know,
Dramatic effect.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the radio guy is Link Wainwright.
It must
There's
be.
no confirmation.
Yeah,
But
we
it
know.
sounds like Dave Arnold doing Link Wainwright.
Wainwright.
And John Fornoff also wrote the Sounds Like a Mystery episode
Ah.
with Link Wainwright in it.
Yeah.
And also Macadamia Nuts.
Macadamia
Oh, yeah.
nuts. Yeah. So, yeah. So, and then we cut to this, like, I don't know what, this delightful narration. Like, Alex is super happy, and then he's running around, and he's like looking out his window, and he's like, everything covered in a fresh coat of white. Which I don't know if he was trying to do a Bob Ross impression, but it was good. And he sings a song.
he does. And then takes the time to mention that it looks like cotton candy, except it's not pink and it's not sticky. Like,
Yes. And like everything was covered with cotton candy, but it's not pink. It's not sticky. And then he just moves on. He's young. His analogy game isn't as strong as ours. I'm sorry.
Plus, when you're just that excited, you know,
Exactly.
nothing goes right.
That's what our podcast is known for. It's analogy game.
Exactly. I feel like my brand is strange analogies.
So he rushes downstairs to go outside and is stopped by his mother,
Yes.
who has a quest for him.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
The golden cookie tin.
The golden cookie tin. We don't get to
Oh,
we don't get to know about the gold until later, but she
Yes.
gives him the paper bag
yeah.
of warm cookies that he
Yes.
needs to get to his grandma before they get cold.
Her world famous cookies,
Yeah.
which
At
is
least in Odyssey.
at least in Odyssey.
I love that so much.
Oh yeah.
Which is nuts. Which
Nuts! I am allergic!
nuts? I'm allergic to nuts.
Come on. What is this? You know, gown strangle.
Very nice, Adam.
Oh yeah. Because you know those were words.
Those.
It's
when
fine.
you know the impression's good when it falls apart halfway.
Oh
Makes
yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
Yeah. So then he goes out, outside, and he's got this great cookie tin of, and then what is it? He's meted with like the most atrocious. What's the word?
Atrocious?
Atrocious. That's the word. The most atrocious sight, which is Smiley the Snowman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
Smiley. Mr. Smiley the Snowman and Cal. So we get Calix once again.
I know,
and I'm
Calix
so
is back.
happy.
Our favorite dynamic
Oh,
duo of Cal and Alex.
For those
Is
who
there
don't know.
nothing better?
For the uninitiated, Calix.
Calix. What I
If
have
you're
on
only
the back of my
listening for
head.
Adam, Calix.
Calix.
But yeah, so we've got Mr. Smiley the Snowman with broccoli
Mm-hmm.
hair and a cucumber nose and two eyes made out of rutabagas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And a zucchini for a nose, isn't it?
I thought it was a cucumber. Is it a zucchini?
I think
It's
it's
a
zucchini.
zucchini.
Oh,
Is that a
no,
zucchini
I wrote my
on
notes
his-
I'm pretty
down
sure.
wrong.
Face?
Aw.
Yeah, because
Smiley the
they
Snowman.
mention it by zucchini, rutabaga, and then the broccoli hair.
Yeah.
Which
Yes.
the hair was such a weird choice.
Yeah,
who
like,
puts
who put hair on
a
the snowman? Exactly.
Well, and not
Nice.
only
That was cute. That was really
that was
cute.
good.
And
Almost
not
like we
only-
coordinated that.
Not only that, but Cal immediately wants to cover up that hair with a brown bag.
Exactly.
The perfect hat.
It'd be yeah, because he says he looks like he had an accident with a vegetable stand, which is
Which is so factual. That sounds like that is
Yeah.
exactly what it would look like.
exactly. And I don't know. There's just so much nostalgia in this episode for me. Like as far as like because I've been there where you like make like when you make a snowman and you don't have the stuff for it, and yeah,
It's a double nostalgic episode because I'm nostalgic for this episode of Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I'm also nostalgic for the magic that is a snow day.
exactly, and how this episode has affected that and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're inextricably like tied together and cannot be separated.
I mean, the music itself is so good, and like I'm like we've obviously talked about the narration, but like I don't know, like when he steps outside and there's like I don't know, it's all listening to it again is like getting in touch with a deep part of my brain that I have not accessed in several years. Like a year since I've last listened to this episode, probably. Maybe less than.
Fair enough.
It hasn't been that long. I love this episode.
It's so good. Cal sees the golden cookie tin and asks for a cookie. And Alex explains that he's taking the cookies to their grandmother. And I was like, oh, right. They're cousins, which means they have the same grandmother.
Yeah.
I had forgotten this.
Yeah.
And it was, It was just like, their grandmother.
I didn't even notice that, honestly. I completely
It's such
forgot.
a small thing that if you were exclusively listening to this episode, it wouldn't carry any weight, that you were just like, oh, okay. But like, then him saying, like, it's for the grandmother, like, then both of them are like, okay, now we have to do this together.
Yeah.
So then that's where you see that later on, them going off together makes more sense.
Yeah. And so then he says, if you give me a cookie, like, you can help Nathaniel and Mandy with our snow fort or something like that. Which is, I don't know what this snow fort looks like.
It's got curtains.
It definitely has curtains.
It
I'm
has
guessing like it's
calico curtains in it.
It's got like, I'm imagining kind of like an igloo with like kind of trenches around it, like on Hoth or something like that. Like that's what I'm imagining. I'm getting some serious
there
Hoth
must be
vibes
like a
from this
window
episode.
for the curtains too. Which
Exactly.
Is just like, this is so much architectural work for
Yeah.
this. Like,
Oh,
this,
yeah.
this must have taken so much time.
Considering that they must have gotten up at like 6 a.m.
Oh yeah, easily.
Because he gets
Right.
up and goes out, and he's getting up like he's going for school. So presumably he's getting up at like 7.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. It literally says 7.
I don't know why the wiki has 7 as like a hard time, but I mean, it's pulled from the official episode description.
Yeah.
So, confirmed 7.
7 a.m., meaning that they got up at 5 a.m. to make a snow fort, which is commitment.
I mean,
And a
hey,
snowman.
when it snows that much, like, how can you really contain yourself and not go out that early? You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Well, and with 3 people, I can see them being able to do it. They can get the work done.
Yeah. So it's at this point that a snowball hits Cal in the back of the head. Mm-hmm. He gets knocked over, and things get beautifully dramatic.
Oh yeah, because he specifically like says Cal was assassinated by a snowball. Like what? Come on.
And the sound that it makes.
Yep.
Like a brink.
Like I get that it was like a slushy snowball, and that would hurt like the dickens, but
Yeah.
still, like my goodness.
Yeah, even if you've got a hat on, there's not much protection from
Yeah,
a,
no,
from
you
a
just
icy,
take a full
slushy
blow.
snowball.
Yeah. And then it's them like narrating the like talking about it, right? Like it's someone dying in war. He gives them the glow in the dark green yo-yo, and Alex is like, "No, I don't want that." And then it abruptly stops.
Yeah, he like
and they're
jumps
just
up like it's like freaking like Bugs Bunny or something. He's like, "Wait a minute, that's a great yo-yo."
Cal, it has knots in it. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It's lopsided. It has
has
knots.
Which does that even function as a yo-yo anymore?
No,
No,
I think
it's
that's
just-
the point.
It's just a ball on a string.
Exactly.
Alex also asks Cal how many fingers he's holding up, and
He says
Yes.
Bozeman, Montana. Which, what is that?
assumedly
got
a
me.
place in Montana.
I don't know.
Oh, I was assuming it was a play on Joe Montana from like the NFL
What?
quarterback. That's what I was assuming.
That is a crazy leap. I assume
Yeah.
Bozeman is a city in Montana.
We shall consult the internet.
Bozeman is a city in Montana.
There you go. Now we know.
You heard it here first.
Bozeman, you finally have the clout you deserve.
Yep. Everybody in Bozeman is just celebrating.
There
Yes,
you-
we have recognition.
Snow day.
So they run after recovering. They run to the igloo, the snow fort, where they meet up with Nathaniel and Mandy.
Yeah.
which made me very happy. And they inform them that Mr. Smiley has been destroyed.
Yeah, Mr. Smiley
Yeah.
has been destroyed. And it's so dramatic. And I really get Hoth vibes from this, where they're like laying in like they're laying in their fort, like turning around, because this is when, because they're after the golden cookie tin. I think this is when they yell it out, right?
Yeah, well,
Well,
it's
it
at
was-
this point that we find out that, like, the Bones of Wrath surround them.
Yeah.
And Rodney's like, come out here with your golden cookie tin, or
yeah.
I'm gonna beat your...
Yeah, no, he's like,
Well, no,
if
it's
you
like-
come out here with your golden
Yeah.
cookie tin, I won't hurt you much.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And I won't hurt you much.
Which is just an awesome bit. Like,
Oh,
this
it's so
golden cookie tin carries so,
So
much weight
value.
for all
Exactly.
the kids. It's
Because
just
you
like,
know
yes.
they all went to the same church function, and they're like, oh my lord.
Yeah.
Alex's mom, Nirvana induced by those cookies.
But the thing I don't entirely get, the gold cookie tin has this clout.
Yes.
Her cookies are world famous in Odyssey.
Yes.
Right?
Is it just her cookies in general that are famous, or specifically the macadamia ones?
No, I think it's specifically the chocolate chip cookies, and that's what everyone is presuming, and they don't know that it's the macadamias.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't find
So
out
they
until
think-
the end.
Which also, his mom only made a dozen cookies, which I've never made cookies in a batch of only one dozen.
Yeah.
She's sending a dozen to the grandma.
Okay.
She's
She could've made
probably keeping more at home.
Yeah.
I feel like this question. Okay.
That seems like a reasonable,
Yeah.
a reasonable thing.
No,
Andrew.
I think you're correct. I think you're correct.
I know I'm correct.
7 a.m.
Um,
And then they basically, this is when Alex plays commander. He's like, I am Captain Alex,
and
I
he
will-
gets a southern accent
Yeah.
to say it.
and you are my faithful troops. And what?
Are we warriors or are we whips?
We
are warriors, sir.
So good. And they he assigns people to ammunition handling, and
Yep.
and him and Mandy are the sharpshooters or something
Yep.
like that. Which this episode is the I guess the rubric for all snowball fights I've ever had. This is the goal. This is the
It
this
has
is
to
the
be
golden
this
cookie tin
organized.
of
The golden standard.
exactly
Exactly.
of what snowball fights should be. And the sounds, oh my gosh! So they start firing back. They
Don't
start hitting.
fire until you see the whites
Whites
of
of
their
their
pupils,
pupils.
or
Yeah.
something.
Something like that.
We will fight them on the beaches. We don't
don't
have
have
any
beaches.
beaches.
Well, it doesn't matter.
We have nothing to be afraid of, except for
Being
afraid of
itself.
stuff.
yeah. We have nothing to fear except being afraid of itself.
Something like that.
I think that's the line. Actually, I'm pretty confident that is word for word the line.
It's just, yeah, it is the perfect encapsulation of childhood, this episode.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're attacking, and then the Bones of Wrath are closing in on him, and then he tries to is it Cal or Nathaniel that comes to him and he's like, we're running out of ammunition, and frankly, morale is very low.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And
we're
he's
running
like-
out of ammunition and my morale starts dropping.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, what do you think we should do? And he's like, frankly, I think we should toss our cookies. And he's like, no, I
Cal.
gotta get these to my grandma's house. And so then we execute plan Zebra Alpha Charlie Fettuccine Water Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
The greatest name for a plan of
yeah,
all time.
Yeah. Which is, it's so good. It's so good.
I mean, it's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Fettuccine in there is delightful.
Is Zebra one of the official, like, part of the military alphabet? Because
No.
Alpha and Charlie are,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
nothing else is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely just that. And water buffalo, I suppose, is probably not also used by the military in official context.
Yeah.
No, it definitely is. You know?
But I was gonna
absolutely.
say, if it's not, it should be.
So this legendary plan is that they're all gonna switch jackets.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which
So
is
good.
so good. And he ends up with the powder puff Pamela
Collector's jacket.
collector's jacket, which, wow, okay.
Yeah, but we know that Mandy's obsessed with Powder Puff Pamela
Okay,
from Novacom
But
stuff.
why is she wearing that in the snow if it's a collector's jacket? You know what I mean? Like I feel like most people like get collector's items and then like store them away so that like you can see them in like night.
She's a kid.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like, my assumption is just that, like, this is a jacket she sent away with a bunch of box tops for or something.
Exactly.
Like,
all right, fair enough.
she
fair
bought-
enough.
Or her parents got it for her for Christmas or something like that.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
And so they all take off.
Yeah.
Running in opposite directions.
with the
wearing
exception of
different-
Cal and Alex.
Right, Cal and Alex stick together wearing Trent and
Oh, wait a minute. We
Andy's
forget the
jackets.
part. We forgot the part where they rally them again and they ask them. He's like, "Are we warriors or are we wimps?
We are wimps, sir."
Thank you for peeking.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. It's honestly, this whole episode has so many quotable, like it's all quotable.
Yep.
Yeah, we get right after this because as they're taking off, we get Rodney. I think for the first time, just yelling Jefferson,
Yeah. Jefferson.
Jefferson.
and it becomes like a motif throughout this episode.
I'll get you, Jefferson. Oh, it's so good. Like, get those cookies from Powder Puff Pamela. Presumably he's running down a hill. Like, that's the only reason you lose vocal control like that.
Steve Burns is doing such a good job as Rodney in this episode, and it's so funny to think of the fact,
Grown man.
to think about the fact that he is also playing Mitch at the same time.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
like an episode before and an episode after. I think the next episode is Broken Window.
Yeah.
And
Does he
it's
play?
back to-
He plays both, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In that.
but like we get, just like the most Rodney, but then also like Steve Burns is Mitch.
yeah.
He's
very
killing it.
talented.
He's
Very, very talented.
Oh, we totally missed also. Oh wait, no, we didn't. Never mind. It's fine.
So they escape. The Bones of Wrath don't know what to do with all these kids running in different directions.
Yep.
And so we then get Alex monologuing again. And he talks about it. He's just kind of romanticizing the snow and whatnot and how great it is. He says it looks like the aftermath of a vanilla ice cream factory explosion.
Yeah.
Which is delightful.
Oh yeah.
And he compares it to dandruff falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Which,
And then talks about like the people on the pond gliding around, like wearing slippery socks on a linoleum
linoleum
floor,
Yep.
which like is so
So good.
relatable.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're just like, yeah, I've done that. Of
course I
who
have.
hasn't like slid around on their heels just for fun on a linoleum?
yeah, I'm more graceful on linoleum than I am on ice skates, to be honest with you.
And then suddenly it hit me. Well, actually, it hit Cal.
Cal.
And he just, bing, and he gets hit with a snowball. It's the same slushy snowball that killed Mr. Smiley.
I think that's actually he says that when they're in the igloo,
Oh, I think you're right.
because that's when they get hit at Mr. Smiley. They don't know yet that it's the Bones of Wrath.
Yes, yeah, and that's how they. Yeah. So they're followed, and they're getting assaulted with snowballs again. And then what is it? Cal that has the super anti-snow missile defense system.
Also known as a garbage can lid, which
Yes.
they had in the igloo fort.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it smells.
Yeah, it really
But
smells.
Quick stinking, Cal. I mean thinking.
so they're using this garbage can lid as a shield. Also incredibly relatable.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And they arrive at Gumper's Hill.
Yep.
Bum, bum.
Which is just Bomberger's Hill for those that live in Lidditz.
Yeah. Except
is-
there's a stream at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome.
Yeah. That isn't really addressed, is it?
What?
Does
What
anybody
do you
fall in
mean?
the creek?
Yeah, it is. No,
Yeah.
they specifically
Oh.
say like off the
They
steep drop, and then
bail-
even if you survive the hill, there's a creek at the bottom.
There's
Right.
a creek at the bottom. Does anybody fall into
Yes,
the creek?
they
Yes.
bail, and then Rodney falls in.
Okay.
Well, you know, I don't know if Rodney actually falls in though.
He does.
Does he?
You hear the splash. You see him.
But that could be the sled.
Oh, you think
Biggest,
the sled
meanest
I
went
think
hill
in?
in all
I
of
think it was that
Odyssey.
the sled fell into the water, and then he like hopped out in time, and then
then
was like faking drowning.
I thought he was actually
yeah,
in the
he's right, yeah.
stream and then got out.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be so cold.
Yeah.
Like streams in the winter is miserable.
yes.
We're jumping over the
Yeah, no, let's
important
go.
thing.
Let's go back.
So-
Let's go back.
So down the hill and through the creek is where grandmother's house is, and so they decide to. So they're trying to they're trying to convince this kid to let them get a sled,
Yeah,
right.
so they can
Please.
ride down the hill and escape.
Yeah.
And he does it, and then they realize they can turn the lid, the garbage can lid into a sled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
wouldn't it have a handle?
Like you hear them like breaking it.
Well, yeah, but like still.
So I had a metal garbage can that we kept dog food in, and it had a metal lid that would function very well as a saucer, and the handle for the lid was loose, so it could go to the side. So presumably, because I've thought about that as well.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it's just a strange rudder that you
Yeah.
can't control that will just throw you different directions.
Which I feel like the saucer does that too. Anyways,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's just talk about the fact that saucers are terrible sleds.
Oh yeah,
I love saucers.
but they're better than nothing.
Yeah. Well, so toboggans can go or the long sleds can go pretty fast if you
Yeah.
get a good trail, but you can't really go off jumps with them or anything
No.
like that. I had a foam racing sled, which is what I'm presuming this kid had, and that thing was peak. Like I would go down on my knees or I'd go down on my stomach, and Nathan had a giant hill in his backyard, and we would build the biggest ramp, and at the bottom of the ramp was a creek. I've gone in that creek. This episode has helped.
I had just presumed that it was like a plastic sled because like those fly in the snow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of those longer like missile shaped plastic sleds.
Mm-hmm. It is. This whole episode is great. This scene is the best.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The sound engineering is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like the crunching of the snow under the
Yeah.
sled and everything.
So they start going down the hill on this sled, and because it's a saucer, they can't steer it.
Yeah.
Also, there's two kids on a saucer, which is tough. Like I've done it.
And then they make the point of like, you know, when you're going down the hill, you have to figure out how to stop or you have to bail.
Yes.
And I love how they like have that moment of just, oh no, like we need to figure something out right now.
Yeah, and so they're like sticking his boots in the ground and like going over, like loses the boots, sticks the gloves in, loses the gloves. Like it's so so relatable.
Oh no, my glove came off.
Yeah, and Rodney has stolen the good sled from that other kid and is chasing after them. And then they're like, okay, we gotta bail. And they jump off, and it sounds like every time I have jumped off a sled.
Yeah.
And you hear the saucer like clunking around. Like it is.
Yeah, well, and that's what I really love about it is you can hear like the saucer rolling down into the stream, and you're just like, yes, like I love it. I like that they paid attention to that little detail that was just so nice.
Sounds incredible, and just all the props to Rob Jorgensen for doing the sound on this.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's some really good stuff in the official guide about this scene.
Okay.
The whole like premise of it to begin is John Fornoff talking about growing up north of Pittsburgh, and there's this big hill with a creek at the bottom, and they would like he remembers going down in a red plastic saucer and rocketing towards that hill and trying to brake using his boots and his gloves and losing them, and then like bailing.
Yeah.
And so like you can tell that they're pulling from experience here.
Oh yeah.
And then Rob Jorgensen actually, he was getting frustrated with not being able to get the sound in the studio, so he actually went to a hill with a metal garbage can lid. He drove out to a mountain, found a deserted hill far away from traffic noise, and recorded it live.
Thank
That's
God.
awesome.
That's amazing.
That is the level of
That makes
commitment that
sense.
I would need and expect in an Adventures in Odyssey episode. Like,
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's like the actual thunderstorm that they recorded. Like,
Right.
Like, what? No wonder it sounds so good.
Yeah. It's great.
yeah,
so
that's
good.
awesome.
So they bail. Cal and Alex.
Yep.
They do the lover's leap and then jump off the sled.
Yep. And then we hear the sound of Rodney or his sled going into the creek.
Yep.
And him calling out that he's drowning.
Yeah.
And Alex being the good person he is, and Cal being the bad person he is. Alex is like, we gotta go save him.
Well, we gotta go check on him. And
Which
then
is like so fair. Because
yeah.
like cold water, you know.
Yeah.
If
He's a
you're
nice
actually
guy.
starting to have trouble, like that is so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yep. And even like the villain that is Rodney doesn't deserve to die from drowning
Yeah, no.
in an icy river.
Maybe. No, and then and then he goes back, and Rodney, it was just a ploy. He's like, I got you now, and just nabs the golden cookie tin, and then this is when it like kind of cuts away, and he looks down and he says, like, there's like I don't know, it gets really, really quiet, really, really quiet all of a sudden. And he looks down. There's nine cookies scattered across the snow.
You missed the whole like situation of where Rodney opens it. He's like, "Oh, why'd you have to ruin it with macadamia nuts?
Yeah.
I'm allergic."
Nuts! I'm allergic to nuts. All this work for cookies that make my skin itch.
Yep. Oh man, and he just chucks the cookies. Also, in my mind, these are macadamia nut cookies with white chips.
Yeah, exactly.
Because for some reason, you never make macadamia cookies with regular chocolate chips. They have to be white chocolate.
White chocolate macadamia.
Well, I feel like
yeah.
the presumption is that like white chocolate and nuts go really well together, and so like that's just
I've never had chocolate.
standard.
Yeah, I've never had chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies.
Oh,
Are they good?
what?
oh my god.
I've had white chocolate macadamia nut cookies.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
what we're
yes,
talking
that
about.
we're
We're talking about the fact that they're always white chocolate.
Yeah, and my
They're
question
never-
is, has
Right.
anybody ever had a chocolate chip macadamia?
I don't think so. They're always white chocolate.
So we have a mission.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to make them sometime.
Like I don't know why they're always white chocolate.
Look
I like
forward
white
to
chocolate.
On the next episode, us reviewing normal chocolate chip and macadamia nut cookies.
Is there any difference in the dough between a chocolate chip cookie and a macadamia nut cookie?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Not that I know of.
We look it up.
You're not. No.
Okay, not now.
I'm putting my foot down. Andrew doesn't get to Google that.
So now this is when the cookie tin hits the ground. He sees that there's only 9 on the ground, and so he presumes that there's 3 left in the tin. So he grabs the tin and says, "Well, Rodney, there's nothing left for me to do but run."
Yeah, take
And
these
they
to
book
Grandma's
it.
house.
So then they're booking it to Grandma's house, and it's a race for the ages to the front door, which is only 300 feet away from the stream. Which
Yeah.
really isn't that far.
Yeah,
And
it's 100 yards.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
football field.
Yeah.
Then Alex trips on the curb and Cow trips on Alex.
Yeah,
And they are on the ground, looking up at the sky.
yeah.
And then
So good.
Mandy and Nathaniel to the rescue.
Yeah. And they just bing, bing, bing from a hidden location. Alex sees his chance, runs for the grandmother's door, and manages to
Everything
make it.
goes in slow-mo.
Yeah. He got to make it.
I always think of like that, like race music. You know what I mean? Like at the end of a race, like,
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is that Chariots of Fire?
Yes.
I think so.
Nope. So yeah, and they make it inside.
Yeah, because it's slow motion until he hits the doorbell and this bing, ding. The golden cookie tin was home, and then he did it, and it's very much like, I don't know, what's the word, like ultimate victory, throw both hands up in the
like
air,
the
Rocky moment. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And he gets inside, and it's Alex and Cal. Is Nathaniel Mandy in there too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they walk in. I think they walk in like right behind them. And then they open the tin and find out it is crumbles.
Yeah, it's just cookie crumbs. Cookie crumbs. And then before Alex can... Does Alex explain it?
Yeah, no, well, I don't think he's explained it, but he's like, I'm so sorry, Grandma. Like, I really tried to get him here.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, it's okay. This will be perfect for my apple crisp.
Apple
crisp? If there's anything that was as world famous as Mom's cookies, it was Grandma's apple crisp.
That was excellent. Good job. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And that's where we end.
Yeah, wait, is this when they have hot cocoa?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
When
yeah,
they
they do.
talk, and he talks about hot chocolate being like marshmallows floating around like styrofoam cups in a swimming pool.
Yep.
Which, okay.
I mean, like, but there is nothing better than being like out in the snow for a
yeah.
couple hours and then coming in and getting hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And then like they're also gonna get apple crisp, and it's
Yeah.
like this is just fantastic.
Also, the grandma is voiced by Jennifer Nimo, who also voiced Alex's mom.
Oh,
which
interesting.
is just like a fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
All
for
right.
thank you for telling me that. That's interesting.
That's my contributions.
Thank you. They have this is a question. What is the preferred size of marshmallows for your hot chocolate? Because there's the really tiny ones that
Yes,
come like
mini
in the
marshmallows. That is the
packet.
option.
No, like the really tiny ones that like come in the packets of Swiss Miss.
Oh,
Right.
no.
That is the option.
like the really tiny
Uh-huh.
ones.
No.
Yes.
The ones that are smaller
Yes, the
than
ones
Tic
that are
Tacs.
But
right.
they're
Correct.
Like, they have nothing with them.
And then there's the
But, like-
size up from that, and then there's full size
Yeah,
marshmallows.
the mini marshmallows, not like the really mini ones
Nope.
that come in the packet.
Micro marshmallows is the only
No.
way.
Micro
I
marshmallows.
want them to be the size of the small M&Ms.
Oh my gosh, no! The mini marshmallows, like,
Yeah.
it adds so much to the hot chocolate.
It makes it soft. It's
Yeah.
soft on the outside, and then it's like warm, but
Yeah.
it's still like kind of cold on the inside.
See,
it's so
I
good.
would
gorgeous.
much rather have a candy cane in my cup of hot chocolate
Oh,
than
marshmallow-
than
monster.
marshmallows.
Interesting.
Absolute monster.
Let's just all agree that the big marshmallows are impossible.
Oh yeah, no, they're just
No,
ridiculous.
why would you want that? No, I'm also a like I drink most hot beverages with a straw. So
Okay.
then you need the tiny ones.
Okay, all right.
That's fair.
I can appreciate that a little bit more, but like,
That's an interesting policy, though.
But like I also think I'd probably opt for no marshmallows.
Over marshmallows? No, mini
yeah,
marshmallows.
yeah, no, you need something in there to add a little flavor.
Yeah.
That's what the peppermint is for.
Yeah, the
That's why I
peppermint.
put
But,
up. That's why I hang a candy cane.
I'm not a huge fan of peppermint with the hot chocolate, though. You know what
It's
I mean?
good, but it's just I don't know. I think the marshmallows are better.
Yeah, the marshmallows are far superior.
What about Swiss's French vanilla hot chocolate?
That is good. I love me. I haven't had hot chocolate in a long time. Now I really want hot chocolate.
Oh, I've been having hot chocolate daily, like
Seriously?
two or
Hot
three
chocolate
mugs
when
a
you're done.
day.
What?
So we can have hot chocolate when we're done recording.
Okay.
But yeah, what a freaking great episode.
It's so
yeah.
good.
It is just like a complete synopsis of a perfect day of snow.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you get the wake up, you get the excitement,
Yeah.
you get the like outdoor quest of
yeah.
like awesomeness.
Yeah, you get the action, you get the adventure, you get the it's so pretty. This is all so nice, and then you get freaking hot chocolate and grandma's apple crisp.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the gold standard to all snow days I've ever had, and it has made me a sad person because I've never had a snow day as good as that.
Oh, I've had some pretty good snow days, man.
I feel like it's so hard to make like snow forts like that are like really sturdy,
yeah.
you know, that you can like really get into.
There's been a couple times when you get the big mounds of snow that have been pushed up by plows, and you can like dig into it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like make a really good
That's when you need
bunker.
like a tool to help you
Yeah.
dig in because it's so hard and you're just like,
So
make
guys,
a wall.
it's December now. Next time it snows, we're all getting together and
I love
Yes,
it.
and we will record it
going
all.
sledding.
I call being Radney, Rodney, yes.
Yes, both.
Radney?
Radney. I have no idea where that came from.
That's his
honestly.
state name.
Yeah.
I call being rad. I was like, what are you smoking?
Yeah. Only the good stuff.
But yeah, we'll reenact it. We'll film it. We'll put it up on our Patreon.
Exactly.
Love it.
For $10 a month, you get to hear us having a snowball fight. It will not sound as good as the episode.
What could though?
Yeah, exactly. Man, now I just really want to go sledding.
Yeah, me too.
There is no snow here, and I am sad.
Yeah, we've gotten so much rain, no snow.
I know.
I'm picturing too the oh man, it's just all so perfect.
I feel like Mr. Smiley must have been so weak though. Like that must have been such a weak snowman to get taken down by a slushy snowball.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. If
But
it's
a
like
headshot.
Yeah, if it's a headshot, it just knocks his head off. But
I
in my
guess,
head, it
but,
sounds
like,
like
still,
you like
yeah.
completely.
Yeah, well exactly. That's what I was like. I was like, you know, this must have been like a rockin' snowball.
Yeah. They just come up with like just punch him in the head, which would hurt a lot.
Oh yeah.
But also be in character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have
Not that Rodney ever cared for his physical health when trying to ruin someone's day.
exactly.
I believe his name is Rad.
Radney,
yeah.
Radney Rathbone.
Chris's wrap-up verse is, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up."
Yeah,
Which, like,
Yeah.
sure,
it's fair.
Yeah, it keeps with the theme because the whole
episode of perseverance of everybody
yeah.
wanting to give up, and there's adversity, and
Well, and like everyone constantly asking Alex like for cookies and him being like, no, I gotta like stick to this thing and like make sure I can get these cookies to where they belong. And
Yeah.
And even like after the cookies being spilled on the ground, like he continues going and then gets there, and then like it works out, and the grandma's like still happy about it, and they get hot chocolate. Like, come on.
Yeah. Anyways, just I do feel like Mandy and Nathaniel should have been invited in for hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That
Wait,
was-
they weren't?
No, they were.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they were
I
in
take
there.
it back.
Yeah, no, they were there.
I'm glad. Starting over. I'm glad Nathaniel and Mandy were invited in for hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That's the first take, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's ridiculous. What are you saying?
Yeah, because I feel like they put in a lot of work too. Like
did.
after like running separately, they still came back to make sure that that Cal and Alex,
Calix.
Calix could make it to the door and like get those cookies to Grandma. Like, that quest just became a whole like gang thing. Like, let's go. Like, let's get you there.
So, I've shared plenty of snow day memories. Adam, do you have any specific snow day memories that you would like to share?
Probably one of my favorite snow day memories was we have a big hill in our backyard and we have like fruit trees on them. And so we used to call it the like jungle path. And you'd like sled and go in between them and weave through. And
that sounds painful.
It was really fun and very disastrous if you didn't do it right. And two of the fruit trees are completely bent over from people hitting them when they were young.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
There was one that I hit with my left shoulder, went inside crying, because, I was like 9.
Yeah.
Came back out, did it again, except I hit it on the top of my head, went inside crying, came back out and hit my right shoulder and went back inside crying. It was like, all right, that's enough. Like
the trifecta.
Three times is enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
Man.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
What about you, Dylan?
My kind of biggest connection to snow is always going up to my cabin. And we had like a hill in the lot that the cabin's built on, and you'd kind of build up a like a pretty good track, go down it a couple times. We had like these big LL Bean tube sleds, so you'd go down that a bunch, packing it in, and get like the walls built up, and then you'd have like this super great track, and then
That's pretty cool.
You get to the bottom of the hill, and someone would come around with the snowmobile to take you back out
Oh
to the
my
top.
gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've
walking
always
up a
wanted
hill.
that.
No jumps?
No, we didn't really do jumps.
They weren't cool enough for the jumps.
I was pretty young at the time.
Okay, yeah. I would say that I didn't do jumps for a while until I was in maybe middle school, I think was when I started doing them.
My first jump was accidental. I was on Bomberger's Hill,
best.
and like I was going down, and all of a sudden there was just a hill in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm hitting this because there's no steering right now."
Yeah.
And I hit it, and I probably only went up like 6 inches off the ground, but I felt like I went like
You're,
3
like,
feet off the
flying.
ground. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die!"
Well, and the feeling of landing on your butt after
yeah.
a jump is so distinctly violating. It's just like
So painful. Yeah, that's just a bad feeling all around.
Yeah.
Oh man,
because there's no padding there.
No, yeah.
There's no padding.
I'm so more. This episode, more than getting me excited for Christmas, has just gotten me excited for snow.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Any other closing thoughts from you, fine gentlemen?
No, I love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
This episode has only gotten better
Yeah.
listening to it this time.
Oh yeah.
I think this is like top 3 episodes of Odyssey all time, or definitely top 5.
Yeah,
Of, like, all
yeah.
time.
Nice.
It's really high on my list as well.
So, thank you for coming on, Adam.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me.
Do you have anything you'd like to promote?
Not really. Honestly. If you're in the York area, York swim team is great. To come watch.
Yeah, he swims for York swim team.
I do.
There you go.
York College swim team.
There you go.
Big
Spartans
bad.
unite.
Spartans unite.
There you go. You promoting anything this time, Andrew?
No.
I have, I think, possibly my dumbest plug of all time.
Go for it.
I love it.
So when I was in high school, and my brother was in middle school. He got a GoPro for Christmas one year, and myself and him and a friend took it to the aforementioned Bomberger's Hill and filmed a ton of sledding footage.
Love it.
I then edited that footage to music and
Yes.
threw it up on YouTube, where it has been sitting for like 5 years.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna put a link to that in the description, because we've been
Snowday.
talking about sledding a lot, and it.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen this.
I know.
excited.
I don't.
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
don't
gonna have to go
think.
watch this now too.
I don't think that this is gonna have wide appeal. But it was just too funny a thing to plug that
I mean, it
it's
it
perfect.
falls right in line with the episode. Like, so it's
I was
perfect.
thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
go witness what the high school version of me has created.
Love it.
Yeah, that's
That's it for the year.
it for the year. There will not be an episode next week, as we are taking that off. But we will be back the first week of January with our first episode of the Blackguard Saga.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
We're covering a bite of applesauce.
Yeah.
So
All right.
until
Get excited.
then, bye guys.
Get hype.
Bye.
WadFam Chalk Pod is a presentation of the Lidditz Podcast Co-op. This show is a fan podcast and has no official affiliation with Adventures in Odyssey or Focus on the Family. As such, the copyright is ours under Creative Commons. Follow the podcast at WadFamChalkPod on Twitter and Instagram, or email us at wadfamchalkpod@gmail.com. Snow Day was hosted by Dylan Weaver and Andrew Acebo, with special guest Adam Deckard. It was edited by Dylan Weaver. And I'm Nathan Haverstick, hoping you'll join us again next time for more of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.